Alright, well, I'm going to continue on. It's not. Yeah. Come on, Twitch. This is pretty. Alright, so this is definitely a mixed bag of what we're getting in this one here. This one's a nice blue. Going back into talking about glass. Not much of a ripple on these ones. Nice white with a little bit of brown streakage. That's a pretty blue. I'll clear. Oh, it's a little too opalescent for my likes, but it's a nice blue. Wish it was more see-through. A little bit clearer. Alright. Well, that looks like a fiery red there. It's a nice contrasty red compared to the straight red I had earlier. Looks a little bit more yellow on cam than it does to me. It looks a little more white to me in person. Another piece of that same red, it looks like. It's supposed to be a mixed bag of glass. This looks like a. We'll cut you a couple of the same piece glass. Here's hoping I'm not brushing a bunch of glass shards into my coffee today. Almost purple blue. And a bunch of white in there. Ooh, that one's definitely going on top. That looks pretty yellow. That's like an egg yolk yellow. much more swirly on this side, and it's much more. Wow, that's downright black. Would be good for a couple of things in mind. Hopefully get a couple other dark blacks in this mix, or dark colors. Bit more red with this one. The other one was more just yellow and white. Ectoplasm green. Ooh, nice gray, blue gray. Not sure where to throw that one. I think on the end here. My cool rack is already filling up with glass. And I've got boxes still to go here. Ooh, nice dark green. That'll work lovely for some things. Probably better like this. Pink. I wasn't thinking of pink so much, but maybe we can find something to use a pink for. Ooh, this is a nice butterscotch, like brown white. Now that's egg yolk. We had some close white yellow mixes, but that's an egg yolk right there. Look at that. Ooh, that's like a cranberry. Or maybe a cherry with some white in it. You got a white with a little bit of green in it. A little bit of red too. I don't like the red so much as the green. Thought that was the packing material they put in between the sheets, but that's just a straight white sheet. Nice dark blue. Water-like blue. White with a bit of purple and a little brown. Very uneven blue here. That's looking like another piece off of this one. I say another piece off of this one, like most of this glass is recycled glass that people have from other stained glass. They sort of mix them together and kill them, just sort of make them streaky. You do have the big guys making the same patterns, and you can get glass of a certain type over and over again, but a lot of the smaller stuff like this is just remelted glass from other. You can see it, you can feel the top of it. It's not quite even, sort of just what it sort of float. This is the bottom. But the top here, those waves and stuff like this, they have actual texture to them here. I'm putting that one blue. A little bit of a debate. That one should have been blue or white, but okay. Moon's got a little brown, red, along with the blue and the white. Looks like I got one of those already too. sorts of pretty blues for bordering my first project that I had planned. More of that gold, red, yellow. Or rather, red, yellow, and white. I'll put that up there with the other yellow and whites, even though this one's a little bit more red. Let's see, we still look live over here. Are we still live? Or have they blocked me again? Well, it seems to be working. Okay. Got a few more left in this box. Maybe 4. Got another light white blue. Another piece of the white, red, yellow. I say this, and a lot of these probably have proper names too, that I just don't know. There's most certainly names to the styles and all of that. What are you doing up here? Oh, you got some light blue to you, or light yellow to you. You can stay over here. There we go. I'm down here on that grayer end of the blues. I'm running out of blue space. We got our lighter blue greens on the corner here, and we're getting towards the top here. Oh, we got a nice solid emeraldy green, jady green to the finish here. And that concludes that box. Two more. Only 2 more. Only 2 more. This is the smaller of the 2. Oh, where did I bury my knife? Hey, guess what, folks? We got more blue. More blue. Got a bit of green to it. Now we're getting into some of the darker and more actual blues. Got a fair amount of white with it. I'm almost tempted to put it with the whites, considering my blue stack is getting so heavy here. That one's a pretty dark blue. I like this one. Yeah, these are all getting into nice dark blues. That one looks almost the same. A little less white to it, but otherwise. That looks the same too. Okay. Last box. Oh my gosh, I've had all of these boxes here for a couple of weeks now, and it's like getting rid of them is interesting. This is our final box of the evening, or the afternoon, or how long have we been doing this? How long have I been stopping and restarting stream? Let's get out here. Oh, nice. So these are all water glass compared to, or the Ripple glass. I don't know why I say water glass. Like, you have float glass, which is the cheap, plain, normal window glass. And this has sort of like a ripple pattern to it. And my mind just calls it water glass for some reason. I don't know. So these are all more clearer colored. They're not opaque, rather. And blues. I seriously do not have room on my blue rack anymore. Especially after this. Nice dark green. More pink. The clear glasses, the difference between them are much more subtle. And so it's sort of like, okay, that's green, that's blue, that's... Whereas the other ones with a little bit of a blend and a little bit of a mix to them. This is a nice purple. It's not quite a Twitch purple. It's a little bit more of a grape purple. I guess I put you with the reds. That green looks pretty much the same as the last two greens to me. That's a nice brown. It's the first brown that I've... It's got a little bit of a purplish tinge to the brown, but it's a nice brown. Ooh, that could be a nice handle color. There's a nice water blue. See something here. Okay. That's a relatively solid one. Most of these are pretty see-through. This is rather opaque. It's nice to have a little red variety. Gotten more pink than I expected. This is pink, maybe peach. Another piece of the same. Red. Just a solid, nice solid red. That one's going to let some nice light through, but it's still pretty opaque. Nice 70s green. It's got a bit of yellow to it, but put that down on the light green side. Nice light blue. It's going to be a project to get those large pieces of glass back underneath all these small ones. I maybe should have 3 levels of storage here with all of these smaller pieces. It's another piece of that sort of like cranberry clear. It's a darker of the same. It's got some black to it. I don't have room for you. Seriously, I don't have room for you. Nice gold. Yellow gold. looks almost like the same stuff I got a big sheet of up there. I opened towards the beginning of stream. That's got some interesting rippling to it. As far as the green's got more of almost like a wood pattern to its grain than most of them are more of like a water pattern. More blue. This one's going with the cranberry. I don't have room for blue. We're not putting any more blue up there anymore. Wow, that's a bright orange. That'll go up there nicely with the yellows. Now I'll go with the cranberries. More cranberries. More grapes, more cranberries. A couple different textures on those. Yeah, I don't have room for those either. That's a nice brown. Last, we got a nice piece of yellow. That's our last piece here. I don't have places for all of these blues, but I think I realized that I basically want to redo this entire stream setup. So, there's that. Got a little bit of packing material over here to deal with, too. Alright, so let's see here. I definitely need to take a photo of that ridiculousness for the Discord. Rather frustrating that we had a frustrating first stream. Let's see here. Let's put these all together and set these up nicely because they're falling all over the place. I'm missing a handle on one because I didn't have room for them. Except I just put the handle on wrong, upside down. There we go. So these are going to be for... I'm going to keep all of my... I'm probably being a little obsessive, but I'm planning on keeping a majority of my cutoffs and scraps from my glass. And then recycling them maybe into smaller mosaics and stuff like that. And so we have bins for all of the major color groups, so that we'll have a variety of small pieces that I can look at if I want to. Shoot for a specific color. Awesome, and those take up not even half the space those boxes did. Awesome. Okay, and so I have room for you over here now too. We can put you over here now. Hopefully you'll stand up too. That's a little bit more of a project for later. So as far as tools I've got and all sorts of stuff I've got for working with stuff here, we've got obviously a soldering iron. I've got all sorts of solder and patinas and flux. I've got my hot glue gun here, which needs to find a home up here. I've got my Dremel over here, which will help if I need to cut any like inside corners, because then I can drill a hole and then cut from the hole. Let's see here. This desk has been equipped with a ventilation system for dealing with the soldering. I have hooked up that is a charcoal filter. There we go. Charcoal filter hooked up to 4-inch hosing. And so this can just sit on the counter anywhere I want it. And so it's got a charcoal filter on the intake that's just sort of loosely on there, and the vacuum of it sort of pulls on it. I've got a 4-inch inline fan connected to that tube. And then at the bottom, I've got something that looks like should be in a grow house or something, but it's another charcoal / HEPA filter. So any soldering, anything like that is going to be immediately sucked up into that thing and processed through not one but 2 charcoal filters to hopefully handle anything nasty in the solder or the flux or in the glass or any of it. You got the grinding set up here. I don't know if I want to get into cutting that stuff up for the grinding just yet. We can show off. I do have the classic tools. We have the Liebe Schmidt snapper, which is meant for snapping glass, where you have a bump here and a line through the center of this, and you can also turn this to go around curves to break at any real angle that you want to break the glass, independent of where your wrist is. Typical just breaking. They're angled on one side, so they will. This is for just doing a straight cut. The other ones are for doing angling cuts and more complex stuff. I got a pair of needle nose pliers over there that are older than me. Yeah, I've got a Silhouette Portrait 2, which is now ancient by today's standards. Can't even find proper software for it, yada, yada, yada. but that can be used along with software to create. Essentially, it's if you've heard of a cry cut, or it's like a cry cut, but it'll cut into thin materials, very thin materials, like a printer, and we'll do. I have it for. Where did I put those? Did I hide them down there? I hid them down there. I have black vinyl or black sticker material, basically, and it can cut a pattern into it. Then I can put onto glass, and then cut the glass specifically to shapes and designs. Which that's going to be a learning process, because I last sort of used that machine when I was doing screen printing. It's been a minute since I've used that. And I'm going to be using it with a different software than I did before. We'll see how that goes. I got my hand drill just because it's handy to keep my hand drill there. I'm not really planning on using my hand drill for anything with Stream. I've got a jar of Carnauba cleaning wax for an automobile that we're going to be using for polishing the glass. And I think that is pretty much it where I am set. We have my grinder set up over here, but I sort of went over that before. The major thing that I don't know how I'm going to handle with the grinder is I do need to take the water out on the grinder, and I don't have... Like, the setup for this is not great for just being able to take the... I wish I could just take the water section out of the grinder, the table of the grinder out, and move that over, but it looks like I'm going to have to unplug the whole thing and move it to clean it out whenever I do some major grinding. Let's see here. What else can we talk about? What else can we cover while we're doing this? By the way, that's only transversing a very small distance of what I have it set up for. It's doing a little over a third of the track that it can travel. I'm debating between, because I can't get that to tilt anymore. Like, the original plan here was to have this camera that you're looking at right here go a further distance left and right, but would point itself so that it looked at sort of the center the entire time. And I just can't get it to do that. And so it's just sort of staying in the same, pointed in the same direction and moving back and forth as it is now. And not doing great with the focus, apparently. That killed my focus, apparently. There we go. So we have that. Yeah, I wasn't looking to get into doing it. I gotta do this first. Why don't we build this? Why don't we get going into this then? I need to cut these in half. Or at least one of these in half. Do I have a triangle that I can use for this? you're going to need a bit more plastic. It's a little bit surprising because this is a relatively new blade. I killed the blade going through this. Nope. You're supposed to snap like you're glass, but you're not glass. Is it sort of odd that the first thing I'm cutting on this stream is not glass? And we keep going. Still no. It feels like it's darn right cut through in the center. Not so much on the ends here, but okay, this is going to take more work than I wanted it to on stream. Sort of fits with just about everything else this day. It may be a minute until we do another cutting glass stream. I really wanted this to be a regular thing, just pop and start doing, but with the amount of hassle that Twitch has given me just to get a stream going here today, and I'm sorry for those that struggled from me complaining and moaning and griping and swearing and being overly frustrated because I've spent, at this point, several weeks. Like, I spent several weeks before I even said anything about it, much less after it. I mean, it's been 2+ weeks since I said I was going to start doing this stream. And I set the stream to force myself to start here, but, like, wow. So, yeah. I will have a photo up of all of the glass I took earlier during the stream up in the Discord. And we're going to have stream as normal tomorrow night, 4:30 Pacific, over on Chef JT. I am thinking for this, I am going to have to do several things here. I'm going to have to move this camera that is looking on this, like over here, like right up here, so that it's looking basically where I am. Hopefully, I thought this might look okay. I don't like the way this looks on stream. It looks backwards to me. It doesn't. It doesn't feel like I'm showing you a proper job of what I am doing on stream. It looks backwards to me. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if there's even anyone out there watching. I don't even have a viewer count, so I have no clue if anyone's even watching. So got that. We got the glass. Got that. Yeah, we got to move the camera over here. And I've got to majorly change how I'm doing the stream, which means I'm going to have to majorly change, like, at this point I'm sort of debating switching, like I said, this isn't really a full computer setup here. Like, this is like a CPU. Like, there's no like GPU setup here. Magically, I can somehow handle doing a single monitor off of this and push via NDI. It seems to be doing okay with that. And via NDI, it's pushing to my normal recording computer, which is just off screen over here, and my normal streaming PC, which is the other side of the wall here. It's sending, the streaming PC is streaming, the recording PC is recording, and I'm thinking I'm going to have to reverse that for cutting glass streams. We're going to have to stream from over here for cutting glass and stream over there for Chef JT, because at least until I get affiliate with cutting glass, I'm going to have to probably keep separate things. I may have to continue to keep separate things because, like, Chef JT apparently got grandfathered in on some of this stuff from before with the bitrate and all of that, because I've been streaming like this for X now, and this is a new channel. That's the sort of thing I get from it, but I mean, you know, it's the same account, Twitch. You know it's not the same account, but you know it's the same person. It's same computers, you know, same MAC addresses. So that was frustrating, and I still don't know what I want to do about it, because I don't want to stream at 6K. They want me to use lower bit rate that doesn't really make sense to anyone but Twitch. And so, yeah. Did I set up my buttons properly to finish the stream here? I don't know if I did or not. Oh, I closed the program that has all of it with it, too. Oh, by the way, I have a little pad over here that is a little, like, 12-key keypad and 2 dials, like, $15-20, and it's given me a little issue with it being on Linux, but I've basically vibe coded a controller for it here and can customize it out. It's my own, like, little mini Stream Deck. It can do more than Stream Deck and less, depending on what you're talking about. Let's see, but did I actually pin that to anything? I did. Okay, folks, I'm going to work on making this capture for my grinder here off stream. I shall be back here on Sunday, or I'll be back on Chef JT on Sunday, and I hope to see you back on Sunday. I don't know when I'm going to do another stream here. There will be more Cutting Glass streams. Like, I didn't set all of this to just give up tonight, but today was a big frustration, and, I mean, it's first stream. There's nothing ever going to go right with the first stream, but, yeah. Twitch. I wish I didn't have to disconnect and reconnect like 20 times to find out that my bitrate was not something you liked. Seriously? Like, seriously? Okay. Yeah, folks. See you on Sunday. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for joining me for my first stream, even though it was a bit of a kerfuffle. Bye-bye. That's not the finishing stream that I want. Finish it. That's not the right stream.